In terms of the specific claim of Islam, I'll repeat the challenge, and obviously there are people in the audience here. I've said to you before, and I'll say it again, that Islam makes specific claims and challenges which are not found in other texts. And this makes Islam and its texts open to falsifiability. For example, number one is the preservation challenge. Chapter 15, verse 9, it says, إِنَّا نَحْنُ نَزَّلْنَا الذِّكْرَ وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ. We have certainly sent down the book and we will certainly preserve it. Chapter 4, verse 92, the contradiction challenge. لَوَجِدُوا فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. They would have found in it many contradictions. The third thing is the inimitability challenge. And we said before that this has quantifiable measures. And I'll give you one example. The Quran was a circumstantial revelation. And it was revealed piecemeal, right? So for bit by bit. But despite the fact that the Quran was a circumstantial revelation and it was revealed piecemeal, you'll find that there is an incredible knitted togetherness, a consistency, a coherence of the Quranic text, which make it almost impossible, I would argue, that it would have been from human authorship. For example, the Quran in chapter 3, verse 59 says, إِنَّ مَثَلَ عِيسَى عِنْدَ اللَّهِ كَمَثَلِ آدَمَ خَلَقَهُ مِنْ تُرَابٍ ثُمَّ قَالَ لَهُ كُنْ فَيَكُونَ. That certainly Jesus is like Adam. God created him from dust and said, be, and he was. Now notice it says, he's like Adam, and if you count the amount of times Adam is mentioned in the Quran, it's 25 times. If you count the amount of times that Jesus mentioned in the Quran, it's also 25 times. Now this is one of, I would say, a plethora of examples, which if you were to churn this into a probability machine, you'll find makes it highly doubtable, improbable, that this could have been done from someone who is being asked questions and answering in the form of revelation. The fourth thing I mentioned was the predictions of the Quran. So for example, the fact that the Quran in chapter 30 verses 1 to 6 predicts that the Roman Empire would beat the Persian Empire from 6 to 9 years, and we have corroborating evidence from this from non-Islamic sources. For example, Theophius in the 9th century writes this down and so on. Now the thing is, if you find all other, this is my claim is if you look at all other religions, world religions, if there are predictions that are made, I will be able to find you, and this is a challenge I'll put out there for everyone, I'll be able to find you a false prophecy from the major world religions. If someone claims to be a fortune teller, Nostradamus, Charles Russell, from the, whoever it may be, those individuals made a series of predictions, some of which came true, some of which did not. Now what I'm saying is quite bold. I'm saying that the Islamic position is, you will not be able to find one thing that the Prophet of Islam or the Quran says will come true that does not come true. And from that we predicate our cosmological understanding that okay, the hereafter, which is something we can't see, just like the future is unseeable, is also going to be actualized, materialized in the same way that everything else has. So we have falsifiability test. This falsifiability test is not in other scriptures, and in order for you to disregard or discard the Quran and the Sunnah, you first have to go through the process, just as a scientist would, of falsifying our claims. Okay.